So Kris Jenner is back in the mix from what reports are saying, and she might have some ulterior motives. Hey guys, it's Morali. Daily and consistent content. Literally went to go get a haircut. You guys can see it's giving mullet in Brazil. Anyways, and the beard is sharp again, Lord, because we were suffering. I'm looking fresh again because Carnival is, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, Brazil and Carnival is beating my ass. Like every day, these people here, they just love to party, and I have FOMO, so I end up going, and next thing you know, I'm just tired as hell. Anyways, Red Online are reporting that Kris Jenner actually is trying to hone in on the Bieber madness that is going on to try and save him. Justin Bieber has caught the attention of Kris Jenner in a big way, and according to sources who said the crafty Kardashian momager is now plotting to cash in on her old pal's troubles by making them a juicy storyline for her family series. Kris has heard all the rumblings that Justin is struggling and she wants to help, but she also has an agenda. She's drooling at the idea of getting him on the show. She knows it will be gangbusters for their ratings. As previously reported, sources said that Bieber is haunted by the possibility of everything happening with Diddy and being forced to testify, but sources said recovering addict Bieber is frightened that details of what happens with Diddy might come out, and that will wreck his reputation. It's just not something simple. It's just not something that he simply wants to talk about. She's always looking out for herself and her family, so you better believe she has an ulterior motive beyond just helping a friend in need. She wants to help Justin, but first and foremost, she will help herself. That's how she operates. I mean, I think a blind bat can tell you that this is basically what Kris does. She's always been self-serving, always wants to help herself, always wants to be in a position where she benefits more. I don't think Justin Bieber is this dumb enough to suddenly go from the breakdowns that he's going through to then end up on the Kardashian show. They desperately need that because their show on Hulu, the ratings are just dwindling. The show is not interesting. Nothing about them is interesting as far as I'm concerned. And Kylie is holding on to Timothée Chalamet because that is probably the only man currently, as of right now, that is an A-list individual, because they're basically going down the drain in that way. So Kris obviously becoming a bit desperate and trying to get A-listers or anybody on the show makes sense because she needs the ratings, and being ulterior, being self-serving, all of this makes sense to me. It is a believable report, despite the fact that it's only rated online. To me, it is a believable report indeed. I just hope that Justin Bieber does not fall for the tactics, but I don't think that he will. I know he's very good friends with obviously the two girls, Kylie and Kendall, and they obviously go way back, and obviously Hailey's good with their friends with them as well, so they're all kind of connected. So she definitely wants them scenes, but I just don't think Bieber's going to do it. I just don't see it happening. Recently, Justin Bieber was cited actually supporting Hailey, basically attending a Road Beauty pop-up event in LA amid the concerns about their relationship. This is why I feel like the breakdowns and the things that he's going through hasn't got anything to do with the marriage. I think the marriage issues, at once I believed it, but of course I go back and forth on things. Who doesn't, to be honest with you? But I just don't believe that a divorce is taking place between these two. I feel like it's just marriage stress with a newborn baby and both of them being busy with work. But I just feel like his breakdowns, his, fatigueness and how he's looked in recent pictures is because of P. Diddy, is because he might be forced to testify, might be subpoenaed, or just worried that information will come out during the discovery phases. His name will be, listed in lawsuits that he probably doesn't want. That's why my guess is that Bieber might be coming out with music around that time as a distraction because he doesn't want his reputation to be ruined or things to come out. That in itself can be very stressful, alongside the PTSD of your relationship with this man, which is why he recently unfollowed P. Diddy, as well as unfollowing The Weeknd and Drake and many others. The main ones that he has unfollowed are Usher, are Diddy, are Scooter Braun. All three of them have been very quiet about why Bieber has unfollowed, because they don't want to feed into the narratives of what has happened as to why Bieber has unfollowed. They don't want their past, discovered, exposed, or, spoken about in any kind of way. They simply don't. So, that's why they've been very quiet about everything that is happening. Now, did any of you guys watch the podcast between Usher and Keke Palmer? And Keke held it very well, but basically they were discussing intimate moments as part of the conversation, and this absolutely went viral. And one of the police are really outside, boy. Lord, sorry. And one of the moments was obviously the fact that they're talking about intimacy moments, and that Usher had his intimacy kind of taken, is what they were alluding to. And of course, they were alluding to Diddy, and Keke Palmer quite well changed the conversation about that and was just a very good podcast host, in my opinion. And I think the conversation of Usher being groomed and being touched up and being essayed by Diddy is something that I definitely believe happened. And, he has a hard time speaking about it. Now, people are obviously questioning, from what I've seen on Reddit threads, as to why people like Usher have dealt with things so differently to Bieber. And it's not a one single reaction when it comes to dealing with SA. Some people, and I feel like Usher is one of them, has put up a major mental block and is just not wanting to encroach on this conversation. He wants to keep it there. He doesn't want to go. He doesn't want to address it. He doesn't want to talk about it, especially publicly. Absolutely nothing. Keeps everything surface level when discussing Diddy. He will never go there. You will never see him giving an emotional interview, coming out of the lawsuit, anything like that. He definitely won't. Whereas other people just find it hard to deal with, and it can physically show because they're not choosing to put it as a mental block. And I feel like Bieber is definitely one of them. Whilst I think Usher is somebody who's a victim, I also think that he is somebody who is, wrong and, has hurt people as well. I've heard from my own sources that he definitely has financially taken a lot of money from Bieber. And I know a lot of people who work in LA. So best believe, people on the streets have always been talking about their fractured, relationship. But I think that as the months go on, we're definitely going to know a lot more about it. I really have to come and laugh about our earlier video today. Diddy is basically reaching these desperate attempts. Right Online were reporting that during Valentine's he was feeling lonely. He loves his freak offs, he loves his women and his man, he loves to transport people left, right and center, and so he couldn't have any of that. And so I would have thought that he would have been very busy given the Glock 3000, with his new fresh knees, living his best life, to be honest with you, when it comes to Valentine's Day, doing the rounds, running through the entire prison basketball teams. That's what I thought he would have been doing. But no, apparently during Valentine's Day he was lonely, upset, some form of a meltdown or upset. And I feel like these meltdowns are going to be consistent reports because he is not getting out, and he's seeing ASAP getting out. He's seeing the Jay-Z lawsuit getting dismissed, and he's basically saying, what about me? And that's why he came out with that whole new situation of, it's because I'm a black man, it's because I'm a rich black man, look at these old acts in American law, this is what I'm referring to, etc, etc. It's giving desperate attempt, but it's giving jealousy and upset because he's basically seeing his own peers basically bust case. His peers are busting case left, right and center. His peers, all of them are busting case left, right and center. And the only thing with him is that men are busting in his face. You know what? Let me just stop. But I just feel like he wants to play outside and he just can't do it anymore. So these Valentine reports of him being lonely, upset, depressed again, honestly guys, I don't give a damn. There's no empathy for somebody like him. I just can't have that. This man cannot be rehabilitated. He needs to be in a confinement place because he is a danger not only to himself but to other people as well. Kim Kardashian has revealed that she obviously has a new Skims partnership with Nike, and I love the fact that Skims has done so well, as well as Yeezys, but Skims has done so well. The collaborations that she's made, truly amazing. But at the end of the day, I don't think it's to do with any of her creativeness, in my opinion, because she began Skims when she was already Kim Kardashian. She's not somebody who started this up from the ground up, in a 9-to-5, not having enough money, not coming from money. That in itself is what I find to be inspirational. I find somebody who has all the money to play with to get rich and then get even more richer is not something that I find inspirational. Anyways, subscribe to the channel, comment down below, give this video a thumbs up, I would appreciate it. Drinking my orange juice for those of you who be screaming, telling me to drink vitamin C. I'm drinking my vitamin C. I go through a bottle a day at this point. Do you understand? Anyways, let me know your thoughts on when it comes to this. Do subscribe to the channel. I know that all the lights are off. It's giving really Murad after dark, but really and truly, I feel like the lighting is better when it's just the white light and not these orange lights on the ceiling. But yeah, subscribe and I'll catch you guys soon for another video.